Hey guys, it's been a while, so I'm not really gonna get into that whole spiel about like,
Oh, it's been a while. I haven't had time to film or edit.
honestly, like I've had a lot of time, but lately I've just been spending like a lot of time on like self-development, making sure that I take the time when I need to, and like now I'm my own boss, which is amazing because now I can like literally just do whatever I want whenever I want. But the hardest thing about that is kind of like time management and just trying to get like everything done at once. So today's video is just gonna be, it's literally just gonna be like kind of about the things that people don't usually talk about after weight loss. Ew, there's a fly.
After weight loss. Ew, there's a fly.
Anyways, so the thing that people usually don't bring up a lot is the fact that when you think back, like when you were bigger or smaller, whatever the case may be, you wanted to change somehow, and now that you've changed, like your body has changed, you're still not happy with it 100% of the time. And like honestly, you're never gonna be like 100% happy unless you do the self-development, and you need to learn to love yourself today so that you can love yourself more tomorrow. And that's kind of what this entire video is going to be about. So I'm just going to kind of start with like my weight loss story. I don't really want to make this video all about me because I want this to help people, and I want to help other girls that might be, or guys, I don't judge. I just want to help other people that may be going through the same thing, and even if it just like helps one person, it's worth it. So, oh, just also a disclaimer for this video, if you're like younger or like just haven't been through this, you may not like understand like what I'm talking about, or I'm not like trying to discriminate or anything. Also, another disclaimer, I don't want people coming at me saying, oh my god, you weren't that big in the first place anyways, blah blah blah. That's not what this is about. I don't want to compare myself to anybody else. I literally just want to spread awareness that this happens to everybody at all shapes and sizes. So just to give you like a little backstory on like how, I don't really want to say how much I weighed. I wasn't overweight or obese, but I wasn't like underweight or like healthy either. I was kind of like in the middle of healthy and overweight for my like height and like my body like shape and everything like that. I was, I think 14 or 15 years old. I want to say like between the ages of like 12 and 16, 17. I was bigger than I am now. I was, I think 135, 140 pounds at the most, and I'm like 5'4", 5'3" back then. So that was, not the most unhealthy thing in the world. But I always felt like there was something wrong with me. Like I always wanted to be smaller. Like me and my friend would sit and we would just feel terrible about ourselves. Honestly, it was really sad because we weren't even that big. We weren't like unhealthy by any means. Like, yeah, we would eat a lot of junk food. Yeah, we would like, drink a lot of pop and all that kind of stuff. But like, what teenage kid doesn't do that? Like unless you're really into health and stuff like that, like what teenage kid doesn't eat like junk food? But I always felt like I would never be that girl. Like I would never be like this skinny, like just like basically the mold that society wants you to be. And honestly, like the way that I lost weight was more so like on accident. Like when I stopped trying to lose weight, like when I stopped going to the gym, when I stopped like, just like picking myself apart all the time, I kind of found that's when I just kind of like lost weight, like unintentionally. And I'm like not saying to do this in any way, shape or form, but I think I was 16 17, something around that age range, and I had such bad strep throat. Like, I dealt with this my entire childhood. Like, I would have really bad strep throat and I would have to go to the doctor, get antibiotics. Like, I could not swallow. My throat was probably like this big. It felt like sandpaper. Like, if you guys have ever had strep throat, you guys know what that feels like. Honestly, like, I wanted to eat so bad, but I could not eat. My freaking throat felt like sandpaper, and I would sit there and cry because I was so hungry and I wanted some like food in my body so bad. Like, I needed the nutrients. I needed the, like, I have low blood pressure too, so like I need like a lot of salt, and like I need to keep my blood pressure up, or else like I could faint and like have a seizure, and like that's not good. So anyways, like, I just felt gross. So after a couple days of that, like, I went to the doctor, got antibiotics, and I ended up feeling better. But within this time of me going to the doctor, getting better, I really couldn't eat until like I started to get better. Like, I would start off with like soup and like yogurt, you know, stuff that's easy to, like, nothing crunchy. I couldn't eat like crackers, I couldn't eat chips, I couldn't eat like anything dry. I honestly noticed that like I couldn't eat as much after I recovered from that. Like, I feel like my stomach had somehow like shrunk in that time because I really hadn't like eaten a lot. And like, if you guys know this, like, if you go a long time without eating, your stomach will actually shrink. So I was in like a really bad state of mind back then, and like I honestly always wondered like what was wrong with me, why I was always so anxious, but it was literally because I couldn't eat and I didn't eat. Like, that's kind of how I lost weight. And I would sit there with my friend and I would like look down at my legs, like, after this had happened, and I would look down at my legs and I'd be like, those aren't my legs. Like, what are those? Like, I literally felt like I was not inside my body. I kind of like, if you guys have anxiety, or if you guys like dissociate, or if you know what that means, I would like dissociate a lot. I didn't feel like my body was my body. Like, I was so used to having thighs that touched. I was so used to having, you know, bigger boobs and like, you know, kind of like a thicker arm. But like, if I take off my sweater now, like, I used to have, like, my arms used to look healthy, but now I kind of look sunken in like a skeleton. But like, I still feel like when I look in the mirror that I'm huge, and that's where the body dysmorphia comes in. This is the part of like weight loss and like just, you know, changing weight in general, like just the weight fluctuation. Even now, like, looking at myself in the mirror, sometimes like I struggle because like I had bigger boobs, like I had a bigger bum and everything, like I had, you know, the curves, and now I don't anymore, really. And that's the part that actually really bugs me, is the fact that I really don't have like curves anymore. And even just like 20 pounds, because I only lost like around 35 pounds. So that in itself like is enough to show like physical change in your body. And I honestly thought that I would love myself after I lost all the weight. And you know, like when I was younger, I would have just people that would pick on me for my weight. I would have just people that would make just like rude comments that they didn't even mean to come out that bad, but just like I had some guy that asked me if I was pregnant once, and like I had a crush on him at the time, and like that just really stung coming from him. You don't just ask a girl if she's pregnant just because she's got like a little like belly. Like, if you not learned like women like anatomy, like women are supposed to have like that little belly pudge. It's literally just your body. It's how your body's meant to be. It's how women, you know, like, you're supposed to look that way, okay? And like, I used to think it was wrong, and like I'm just here to say that like your feelings are valid. And even though people say like, oh, you look good, oh, blah 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 blah, it's like, you're allowed to feel the way you're feeling. And you my best advice for you is just like I said earlier, is just learning to love yourself today so that you can love yourself more tomorrow. You need to do self-development, even if it's just a podcast or watching this video, or, you know, like, you just need to do something that's good for you and that will make you feel good and that's not self-destructive. I will do a whole other video for you guys if you want me to talk about, like, self-destructive, like, behaviors and all that kind of stuff, because I did go through, like, a stage of that as well. But what I want you guys to take from this video is that I know that sometimes it's hard to love yourself the way that you are, the way that God made you, or the way that you were made, whatever you believe. But I just, it makes me so sad to think back of the, you know, the girl I used to be and how much I used to hate myself and how much, like, I struggled. But now I've kind of just grown a lot and learned to accept the way that I am, even though I'm not perfect. I never will be perfect, neither will anybody else. So don't focus on, like, all of the cookie cutter things that you, like, that society tells you you should be. Be your own person. I know this is so cliche, like, everybody says this, but it's so true. Like, you don't want to be just like a carbon copy of somebody else. You want to be different. You want to be unique. You want to stand out. And just don't let other people's, like, assumptions about you or anything like that just get in the way. You honestly just have to, like, ignore it and move on. And to the people that may have hurt you or bullied you in the past about either your weight, your, like, I used to get bullied because I was the weird kid, but, like, you know, you gotta forgive the people that did that to you, and you need to just, like, remember that, like, back then they were just kids, or they were just, like, you know, immature, and, like, they've probably grown since then the same that you have. Maybe not, like, you know, the same, but you know what I mean. Like, you've probably both grown since then, so you need to learn to forgive that person that said those things to you, and you need to just, like, forgive and move on again. And then I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. I'm just wondering if there's anything that I missed. I don't think so, but if I need to make, like, a part 2 or something, I will. But I love you guys. I hope this helps at least one person, because that's why I'm making this video. I didn't make this to be, like, all about me, blah blah blah. I want this to resonate with somebody. Like, it's not like I want somebody to be going through this. Like, I don't wish this upon anybody, but if you are, and if you're watching this video, or if you know somebody that's going through this, please send them this video. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm going to go back to playing with my cats and you know, working just a little bit more. So yeah, this video will be up soon, hopefully. Bye.